everyone, to our brilliant professor, Dr. Ramon Porras Jr., our professor in EdD 703, Educational Planning Policy and Management. I am Gilvert Beroldi. This day I'll be presenting about teaching quality matters. Does teaching quality makes a difference? And how do we define teaching quality and highly qualified teachers? Again, I am asking for your indulgence in whatever the outcomes of this audio-visual presentation of mine. Let me discuss first, does teaching quality makes a difference? There is a growing consensus that good teaching makes a big difference to students' learning. Many studies show that the quality of teaching is a key determinant of students' school experience and attainment, regardless of race, gender, or socioeconomic background. I believe that there is a huge difference between becoming a teacher and becoming a good teacher. Good teachers have a huge impact on learners and help them engage in lifelong learning. Good teachers can also make a world of difference on a child from any age. If we go back during our school days, we can still remember teachers who inspires us, help us, and make us confident to succeed on where we are now. On the other hand, we also remember teachers who didn't seem to care about the students, didn't make an effort to help us learn, or told us we weren't good enough. These are not the kind of teachers that children and youth need today. Am I right? Researchers say that there are factors affect on teaching quality. First, teacher knowledge about good teaching and learning practices appears to have the strongest and the most consistent positive effect on student outcomes. Second, a degree in the subject taught is significantly and positively correlated with the student attainment and with staying in teaching, particularly at the secondary school level. Fourth, teachers' verbal ability and literacy level have shown some association with higher student attainment. Fifth, continuing professional development is necessary for improvements in teaching quality, especially when there are changes in the curriculum, teaching method, and the student population. Sixth, teaching experience has a positive effect on effectiveness, especially experience gained in the first year of teaching, but the results are not always significant. Seventh, teacher behavior and personality have yielded inconsistent findings, although in some studies there appears to be a positive relationship between the student learning and teachers' flexibility, creativity, and adaptability. The relationship between teachers with master's degree and student outcomes is weak to non-existent. The findings suggest to teachers that teaching requires multiple skills, that the most important single that distinguishes more effective teachers is their deeper knowledge about pedagogy, and that is how best to support and fosters students' learning. Now let us move on the traits of a good teacher. Because teaching is such an important and noble profession, good characteristics can really help us to become even more effective teacher. Every teacher is different, and that's a good thing. Different teachers can reach different students in unique ways, which is valuable for their success. However, There are some fairly consistent traits among great teachers, which are: number 1, patience. Every single student will have their own unique struggles. Some will have a difficult time for reading. For others, math will come easily. For others, being able to sit still during school is a struggle. Patience in a teacher is the key to helping students overcome their struggles. With large classroom and many students who are all different, patience is a must for a good teacher, and demonstrating patience as a teacher is a great way to be a role model for students. Patience is an important characteristic for effective teachers in both practice and as a model. Number 2 is empathy. Empathy is an important quality for teachers. Children and youth have big feelings and are often dealing with more than we know outside the classroom. As a teacher, it is important to be able to empathize with what they are feeling, even if it may not seem like a big deal. Children and youth need to have their emotions validated in order to understand and process them well. This is crucial in helping them become emotionally mature. Teachers who aren't empathetic can help students overcome real difficulties, trivial or severe. As a teacher, it is vital to be able to put yourself in a student's shoes and help them feel understood. When you teach, it is important to be sensitive and thoughtful to make sure learners feel they are in a safe environment. Third, we have drive for self-improvement. Great teachers should be able to look at themselves objectively and see where they can improve. That can be in teaching methods, subject matter, or people skills. When teachers can review themselves and know where to focus their attention, they can become even better. Teachers should also be willing to engage in lifelong learning, whether that be going back to school for a master's degree, attending conferences to help them learn more about education, or reading books and articles about their field. Anything that teachers can do to increase their understanding is vital for their success. Educators are willing to learn as well as teach are important to the future of learning. Next is adaptable. When working with people, students, or other teachers alike, certain expectations may not always be met. Your teaching methods may not work a certain way with a certain class. Schedules may change. Adjustment may need to become a little or not noticed. A great teacher can adjust their teaching methods and expectations so they can still find success. They are willing to always evaluate what is working for their students and adjust where needed. This trait is vital for teachers who want to help each unique individual find success in their classroom. It is an important characteristic when teaching to always move your lessons around in the way that promotes learning in the best possible way. This time, let us talk about skills of a good teacher. When it comes to teaching, there are also many interpersonal skills that teachers need in order to reach the next level of success. First is suspension of bias. A teacher won't be able to accurately assess the needs of students if they can't see past bias. They need to be able to objectively look at each student to help them in whatever way they need. Additionally, bias could prevent teachers from presenting material correctly and accurately. So teachers need to be able to suspend their personal bias in order to do the best for their students. Learning needs to be done in a safe environment. So when you teach, you need to remove anything that can make you see students in a less favorable light. Next, we have stress management. Teachers are faced with stressful situations every day. They need to be able to keep their cool in order to be good role models for their students. Outbursts could be discouraging or even frightening for students, leading them to lose trust and interest in education. It could also lead to a loss of respect from students, which can create chaos in a classroom. Stress management is the key to being a great teacher. As we teach, it's important to be prepared for all kinds of situations that can arise. Make sure that we can create a great learning environment no matter what it comes. Next we have is communication. Teachers need to be a good communicators and able to meet the needs of their students. They can't effectively assess the needs of students if they can't communicate openly with them. Teachers also need to be able to communicate with other teachers and parents as well. Communication is the key for teachers to be successful in their profession. Learning and teaching are connected through good communication. Last, teaching rather than instructing. A good teacher should be focused on making sure their students truly understand the material, rather than just lecturing and hoping it will compute. Great teachers are connected or concerned with the retention of their students, making sure that they really know and can do the work, not just by checking off the boxes for the lesson plan. Great learning comes from the teachers who are focused on that comprehension. This time, I will talk about how to become a better teacher. There are a variety of things that teachers can do to become even better in their profession, including the following. First, a master's degree that can help you learn more about the educational field and improve your skills. Second, attending education conferences to help you connect with and learn from other teachers. Third, reading articles and blogs about new studies in education and new teaching techniques. Fourth, listening to podcasts to help you increase your knowledge. Fifth, connecting with other teachers on social media to help you gain new insights. Sixth, asking colleagues and superiors for insights. Having these skills are vital in helping us a great teacher. Experienced teachers and school heads learn how to identify the best candidates for teaching positions quickly, and makes it essential to embody the qualities of a great teacher not just in a classroom but throughout the learning process. Moving on to the question, what makes a good teacher? Southern New Hampshire University education faculty and university students share their thoughts on the qualities that make effective teachers stand out. First, good teachers are strong communicators. By communicating with our learners at the beginning of the school year about how different subject applies to their favorite hobbies, sports, and future careers, there are learners that can learn well the subject in a more enjoyable way that better supported their learning. Number 2. Good teachers listen well. Great communication doesn't stop when a teacher is done talking. Listening well is the most important skills needed to be a teacher. It is true that teachers that are skilled in listening and observing often pick up on what isn't being said, such as any anxieties a student may have, and can help the student build their skills and confidence level. An effective listening skill also helps a teacher better understand their students and tailor lessons to reach them how they learn best. Number 3. Good teachers focus on collaboration. Working in education means you're never truly working alone. From being a student teacher to full-fledged teacher often means working effectively in a group. The key to success of this kind of environment is the ability to collaborate. Collaborating also means we must be open to learning from other educators, both those with more experience than you or with different backgrounds. When working with other educators, it is important to possess qualities like communication, understanding, and empathy. The most important quality is professionalism, and this is how many educators will connect and learn more from one another. Fourth, good teachers are adaptable. Effective teachers need to be able to work in a constantly evolving environment and adjust their teaching methods based on the age of their students, the resources available, and the changing curriculum, practices, and requirements. As the saying goes, change is a constant. Learning how to adapt and adjust is one of the skills that will help a lot in our career. Number 5. Good teachers are engaging. Being able to engage with our learners with humor, creative lessons, and a strong classroom presence is an important part of what makes someone a good teacher. Number 6. Good teacher shows empathy. We need to take a moment to think back and think about what could be going on this learner's life. It is so important to be observant, attentive, empathetic, and always have a positive attitude. 7. Good teacher have patience. No matter what grade level we are teaching, our patience will be tested while working as an educator. Number 8. Good teachers value real-world learning. Teachers who bring their students' learning into the real world are often the most engaging. But it is important for teachers to bring their own learning into the real world too. One of the best preparations for effective teaching is to ensure that education students get plenty of classroom experiences early on in the lessons we are presenting to them. Number 9. Good teachers share best practices. A willingness to share knowledge and experience with others is one of the most important qualities of a good teacher. Education is a very hands-on field and often requires experimentation within the classroom to discover which methods of communicating with students works best. Part of being an effective teacher is sharing your findings and best practices with others in the field. Number 10. Good teachers are lifelong learners. One of the key skills needed to be a good teacher is a dedication to continue education and a love of learning. It is important for us teachers to never feel as though they've learned it all and to remain open to new experiences. No matter what our education level is, we can learn something from everyone we encounter. including fellow educators as well as students. Being willing to continually add tools to our toolbox, even unconventional ones at times. We will keep things new and exciting, as well as giving our excellent skills. Moving on, let us discuss how do we define teaching quality and highly qualified teachers. August 11, 2017, the Department of Education releases its DepEd Order number 42 series of 2017 entitled National Adaptation and Implementation of the Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers. This recognizes the importance of professional standards in the continuing professional development and advancement of teachers based on the principle of lifelong learners. It is committed to support teachers and taking cognizance of unequivocal evidence that good teachers are vital to raising student achievement. Quality learning is contingent upon teaching quality. Hence, enhancing teacher quality becomes the utmost importance for long-term and sustainable nation building. What is PPST? PPST is the Philippine Professional Standard for Teacher. Defines quality of teachers in the Philippines. The standard describes the expectation of teachers increasing levels of knowledge, practice, and professional engagement. At the same time, the standards allow for teachers' growing understanding, applied with increasing sophistication across a broader and more complex range of teaching learning situations. The PPST has 7 domains, collectively comprises of 37 strands that refer to more specific dimension of teaching practices. The PPST aims to set out clear expectations of teachers along well-defined career stages of professional development from beginning to distinguished practice. Letter B. Engage teachers to actively embrace a continuing effort in attaining proficiency and apply a uniform measure to assess teacher performance, identify needs, and provide support for professional development. This time, I'll be talking about PPST's domains and strands. Domain 1. Content, knowledge, and pedagogy is composed of 7 strands. Domain 1 recognizes the importance and mastery of content knowledge and its interconnectedness within and across curriculum areas, coupled with a sound of critical understanding of the application of theories and principles of teaching and learning. They apply developmentally appropriate and meaningful pedagogy grounded in the content knowledge and current research. They display proficiency in mother tongue, Filipino, and English to facilitate the teaching and learning process, as well as exhibit the needed skills in the use of communication strategies, teaching strategies, and technologies to promote high-quality learning outcomes. Domain 2. Learning environment consists of 6 strands. Domain 2 provide learning environments that are safe, secure, fair, and supportive in order to promote learners' responsibility and achievement. They create an environment that is learning focused, and they efficiently manage learner behavior in a physical and virtual space. They utilize a range of resources and provide intellectually challenging and stimulating activities to encourage constructive classroom interactions geared towards the attainment of high standards of learning. Domain 3. Diversity of learners consists of 5 strands. Domain 3 establishes learning environments that are responsive to learners' diversity. They respect learners' diverse characteristics and experiences as inputs to the planning and design of learning opportunities. They encourage the celebration of diversity in the classroom and the need of teaching practices that are differentiated to encourage all learners to be successful citizens in a changing local and global environment. Domain 4. Curriculum and Planning includes 5 strands. Domain 4 interacts with the national and local curriculum. They translate curriculum content into learning activities that are relevant to learners and based on the principles of effective teaching and learning. They apply the professional knowledge to plan and design individually or in collaboration with colleagues, well-structured and sequenced lessons that are contextually relevant, responsive to learners' needs, and incorporate a range of teaching and learning resources. They communicate learning goals to support learners' participation, understanding, and achievement. Domain 5. Assessment and Reporting is composed of 5 strands. Domain 5 applies a variety of assessment tools and strategies in monitoring, evaluating, documenting, and reporting learners' needs, progress, and achievement. They use assessment data in a variety of ways to inform and enhance the teaching and learning process and programs. They provide learners with the necessary feedback about learning outcomes that informs the reporting cycle and enables teachers to select, organize, and use sound assessment processes. Domain 6. Community linkages and professional engagement consist of 4 strands. Domain 6 establishes school community partnerships aimed at enriching the learning environment as well as the community's engagement in the educative process. They identify and respond to the opportunities that link teaching and learning in a classroom to the experiences, interests, and aspirations of the wider school community and other key stakeholders. They understand and fulfill their obligations in upholding professional ethics, accountability, and transparency to promote professional and harmonious relationship with learners, parents, schools, and the wider community. Domain 7. Personal Growth and Professional Development contains 5 strands. Domain 7 values personal growth and development and exhibit high personal regard for the profession by maintaining qualities that uphold the dignity of teaching, such as caring attitude, respect, and integrity. They value personal and professional reflection and learning to improve their practice. They assume responsibility for personal growth and professional development for lifelong learning. This time, let us discuss about career stages in PPST. The next slide defines the work of teachers at different career stages. make explicit the elements of high-quality teaching for the 21st century. They compromise descriptors that have been informed by the teacher's understanding of what is required at each of the 4 career stages. The descriptors represents a continuum development within the profession by providing a basis for attracting, preparing, developing, and supporting teachers. Career Stage 1 or beginning teachers have gained the qualifications recognized for entry into the teaching profession. They have a strong understanding of the subjects or areas in which they are trained in terms of content knowledge and pedagogy. They possess the requisite knowledge, skills, and values that support the teaching and learning process. They also manage learning programs and have strategies that promote learning based on the learning needs of their students. They also seek advice from experienced colleagues to consolidate their teaching practice. Career Stage 2 or proficient teachers are professionally independent in the application of skills vital to the teaching and learning process. They provide focused teaching programs that meet curriculum assessment requirements. They display skills in planning, implementing, and managing learning programs. They actively engage in collaborative learning with the professional community and other stakeholders for mutual growth and advancement. They are reflective practitioners who continually consolidate the knowledge, skills, and practices of Career Stage 1 teachers. Career Stage 3 or highly proficient teachers consistently display a high level of performance in their teaching practice. They manifest an in-depth and sophisticated understanding of the teaching and learning process. They have high education-focused situation cognition, are more adept in problem solving, and optimize opportunities gained from experience. Career Stage 3 teachers work collaboratively with colleagues and provide them support and mentoring to enhance their learning and practice. They continually seek to develop their professional knowledge and practice by reflecting on their own needs and those of their colleagues and students. Career Stage 4 or distinguished teachers embody the highest standard for teaching ground in global best practices. They exhibit exceptional capacity to improve their own teaching practice and that of others. They are recognized as leaders in education, contributors to the profession, and initiators of collaboration and partnerships. They create lifelong impact in the lives of colleagues, students, and others. They consistently seek professional advancement and relevance in pursuit of teaching quality excellence. They exhibit commitment to inspire the education community and stakeholders for the improvement of education provision in the Philippines. On the light of COVID-19, the Department of Education through the National Educators Academy of the Philippines issues the DepEd Professional Development Priorities for Teachers and School Leaders for school year 2020 to 2023. The PD priorities will support the realization of the department's goal of continuous upskilling and reskilling of teachers and school leaders that will result in better learning outcomes. The PD priorities are situated within the NEP PD process flow as shown in Figure 1. Professional environment drivers are strategic alignment priorities, instructional data, emerging trends, competencies assessment, research stakeholders' inputs, and curriculum requirements. PD priorities mapped to the professional standards. If you can remember, on our LDM Course 2 Module 4, we are guided on how to identify our PD priorities. This program, course development, evaluation, and course delivery, while these programs are ongoing, monitoring and evaluation and data capture are visible with the help of its internal and external providers. On the output, it is expected an improved teacher and quality school leaders. Therefore, learning outcomes of learners are improved and there will be a career progression. On the succeeding slides, PD priorities will be presented, wherein specified skills are itemized in every career stages, like moving to proficient, moving to highly proficient, and moving to distinguished teachers. Some strands are dropped for this PD for school year 2020-2023. For Domain 1, Content and Pedagogy, only 5 strands remain and an additional topic for financial literacy for education. Domain 2, Learning Environment, wherein 2 strands were retained. Additional topics for child protection policy and anti-bullying policy. And under Domain 3, Diversity of Learners, 4 strands were retained with special topic for socio-emotional learnings, children at risk and children in conflict with the law, reproductive health and early pregnancy, increasing adversity quotient, mental health in the school setting. In Domain 4, Curriculum and Planning, only 3 strands were remained. Domain 5, Assessment and Reporting, only 2 strands remain. Domain 6, Community Linkages and Professional Engagement, where 4 strands remain. 7. Personal Growth and Professional Development, who had 2 strands with special topics on DepEd core behavioral competencies and communities of practice. Before I end this presentation, I would like to share this line. According to Hertz and Peters of 1989, educating people is not done by instant fiat. It takes time and a variety of different processes of learning and teaching are involved. Therefore, good teachers to be effective in class need much more than subject expertise and intellect. Great teachers are able to facilitate learning through the use of formative strategies in class and know when to step back to allow for pupils' reasoning, application, and self-discovered independent learning to occur. To end, a highly qualified teachers not only work hard, but they care about each and every student that enters their classroom. By Conrad Burns. Thank you for listening.